Hey y'all, it's me, Miss Taisha. And I'm back, okay? So, going through all my old YouTube videos, I realized I never ever did a video on me finding out like how I was pregnant. And it made me think of this because like after going through my videos, I was having a talk with some other people and we were discussing like how we found out we was pregnant. So even though this video is almost 3 years too late, it's cool. I'm still tell the story. So anyway, I'm just gonna, y'all can just watch me gel down my hair. Yeah, and I'm gonna tell the story. Okay, and don't mind my hair, y'all. This is like a disaster that kind of happened, and I kind of been faking it until I made it with this nasty hairstyle I decided to do. Anyway, so it was October 31st, 2016, okay? And check this out. So I currently work in the school. I like teach or whatever. And prior to me having Zaya, I worked at CGI Fridays and I worked at a daycare, okay? So I remember it was a slow day. It was October 31st. It was Halloween. I had a morning shift. Morning shift is like good and bad or whatever because it's bad because you're not going to make as much money as you would in the afternoon or in the evening. It's good though because it's slow and you get to chill and eat food most of the time. And so anyway, I'm chilling. At the time, I was with Zaya's father at the time, and so typically my day, I didn't have a car on me. I don't have a car now, but during the time I didn't have a car either. And anyway, so I would spend time like after I got off work, I work literally next door to a train station, and so I would take the train station because he was in school at the time. He was in downtown, so I would take the train down to him and like meet him or whatever, and I would like just spend a day with him or whatever when he got out. And so anyway, this particular day, it was Halloween. I was in good spirits. I had my little cute little homemade costume. I was Luigi. And all of a sudden, I started feeling nauseous. You know, I didn't really think nothing of it. My first thought, I had like we had like these platters that we were doing at Fridays. Like, I think they still do them. And like, you can get like either wings or, hold on, my child is crying. Hold on. Okay, so anyway, as I was saying, they do like the platters that might like have wings and like fried green beans and like pot stickers, like whatever combination. I remember having wings and like some other stuff on there. Anyway, like I was starving that day. And so I was like feeding, I was like eating through that food. And like next thing I know, my stomach, like I started feeling really nauseous. I hadn't thrown up yet, but I was nauseous, but I'm like, you know, it is what it is, whatever. And so I hadn't thrown up yet. I just was really nauseous. Next day I was working at the daycare because my schedule was like kind of up and down working there. Especially when you part-time, your schedule is kind of weird. And so my stomach started feeling weird. I was at my other job at the daycare. I threw up. Oh no, I take it back. That same day I left like wanting to see him after work. I threw up at home. I'm like, it is what it is. Every now and then I get stomach bugs, whatever. Next day at work, at the daycare, I threw up. I went to the bathroom. And you know, I have a chronic illness. It's called ulcerative colitis. So I automatically assumed, I'm like, you know, I didn't really know what it was. Like in the back of my mind, I feel like women, we got that thought in the back of our head when our period is super late or whatever the case may be. It's like, you think you know what it is, but you don't want to believe it, right? So I just blamed it. I didn't want nobody to know. So I was just like, oh, it's probably my UC acting up. I might have to just go to the doctor. And so that day I was still throwing up. And so like I called Eric and I'm like, you know what, can you pick me up and I go to emergency? Because I don't know what's wrong and I keep throwing up. I just kept throwing myself up. I'm like, it's food poisoning, It is what it is. And so he picks me up and I'm thinking to myself like, oh my God, I think I'm telling him this because I'm like, by this time my period was, I hadn't had a period since August. Mind y'all, this was November 1st, so obviously we all knew what the outcome was going to be. But, you know, I still want to believe, my period just kind of up and down, you know. And so anyway, like, it's like that anticipation. I'm anxious. I'm sitting in the waiting room. I'm at the hospital. They're doing my vitals. And in the back of my head, you know, I'm thinking, like, you know what? Don't do a urine test. Because for some odd reason, I'm like, you know, if I don't do a urine test, I ain't gonna find out, you know? And it was like, do you want to, are you able to pee? Can you take a urine test? I was like, nah. I'll take it later. Trying to really make this whole situation go away knowing good and well it ain't gonna really matter. But anyway, so, they finally called me. They did like my vitals and everything. And eventually, like, I just had to go ahead and take the urine test because that was the only way they was going to be able to do anything. And so they take it, and I remember waiting, like, not in the waiting room, but like inside the emergency. Like, I don't know if you guys ever been in emergency, but like it's the waiting room. Then they go and send you to do your vitals, and then it's like that back part where like all the action is. I was like back there by the rooms and stuff, and I remember sitting there and I'm texting my best friend. My best friend knows I'm super paranoid, so I would always think like, "Girl, I'm pregnant." She'd be like, "Girl, you not." And then a few days later, I get my period, and we'll laugh about it later. And so I'm texting, like, Eric is in the same building with me, but I'm texting him, like, I'm so scared, like, I think I'm pregnant, I'm scared. And he's like, "No, you're not, blah, blah, blah." And I'm texting my other friend. At the time, I had a male best friend. I'm texting him, like, "Yo, I think I'm pregnant, I'm scared, I'm at emergency, I don't want to believe it." You know, so I'm still waiting. I'm sitting with Eric, and I'm scared out of my life, like, my body is shaking, because I'm like, all of this running through my mind is, how do I tell my mom that I'm pregnant, you know, and I'm not married, you know, all that stuff. No parent who cares a lot about, like, being married and pregnant is gonna, how can I put it? No parent who wants their child to be married and then have kids wants to hear that they're pregnant out of wedlock and they're young. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like super scared. So anyway, a nurse, she comes out. And she's like, "Are you Taisha?" Or no, well, they say like, "Taisha, so and so." I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Yeah, can you, here, I don't want to talk out here. Can we step into this room?" And I'm thinking to myself, like, oh my gosh. Like, I'm an overthinker anyway. So outside the fact I made pregnant, I'm like, I'm walking, like, it's like, it was the slowest walk ever. I was walking at a normal pace, but that felt like the longest walk to that room ever. The room was literally across the hall from me. And I'm thinking to myself, like, "God, please don't let me be pregnant. I never have sex again. Please don't let me be pregnant." Like, all this stuff is running through the back of my head, okay? And like, that's all that I'm thinking and everything. And then I'm thinking, like, oh my God, what if I have HIV? What if I have AIDS? What if he gave me, like, this is all going through my head, literally. And so she sits me down, and I try to play it cool. I'm like, yeah, what's up? She said, "Okay, so we did tests, and you are pregnant." And I said, "What?" Like, my heart dropped. Like, it felt like the end of the world. I was not happy. Like, I will admit that I'm one of the few who was happy about being pregnant. I did not like it. I was upset. I was so mad. And people are going to hate me for this comment I'm about to make. But the first thing that came out of my mouth is, "Can I get an abortion?" That was the first words that came out of my mouth, realistically. Due to the hospital that I go to, they are a Jesuit hospital, which is like a religious denomination. Pretty much Christian, but it's like a form of Christian. I think it's like, I don't know. It is Christian, but can't think of what type of denomination or what it's like. It's just Jesuit. Anyway, and they said, "No, we are not." And she said, due to them not doing stuff like that, she was like, she didn't want to risk her job, telling me about it. But she said, "I can't give you information on how to do this, like places to call." So she did that. And like, my heart stopped, and I like went out to the hall, and I told him, I was like, "I'm pregnant." And he was like so happy, and I was just pissed off. I wanted to just punch him in his face. Anyway, and so like, I literally did not know what to do, and I'm scared out of my mind, y'all. Like, I am terrified. Okay, y'all see these edges? I'm trying to get them laid. Okay, laid and slayed. My hair looking real crazy, y'all. Just so y'all know, y'all ever do faux locks, don't y'all ever burn these ends, because baby, I burned these ends and I look real goofy right now. Anyway. So, I'ma just, sorry y'all, bear with me. Anyway, and so I get into the car, and I remember him saying, like, I'm hungry, I want to get some food. And so it was like a Burger King over there by the hospital where I went to. And he goes in, and I'm sitting in the car shaking. I'm like, I don't know where to start. First thing that's thinking, I had just moved back from California like a year prior. So like, I'm still fresh. I'm still living at home. I'm working at Fridays, never making no money. Literally, when I was working at Fridays, it was $4.95 an hour I was bringing in. On a good day, I brought home $100 in tips. On a bad day, I bring in about $30. Like, and I'm like, I can't afford, like, I can't do anything. I didn't have a driver license. I'm like, I ain't gonna be driving nowhere because I can't drive. I don't have a car. I don't have no place to live. Like, it was crazy. I'm like, I'm kind of in between school right now. Don't know what I'm trying to do with my life. I'm sorry, y'all. This is really bugging me. This towel was like sticking up. Anyway, and so first thing I do, I text my best friend. I'm like, "Girl, I'm scared." I was like, "I'm pregnant." And she knows that I'm an overthinker. So first thing she said was like, "Girl, shut up. You are not pregnant. How many times am I gonna tell you this?" And I said, "No, Brandy, I just freaking left the hospital. They did a test on me and I'm pregnant. And she said, oh my gosh. And she was like, oh my God, I'm gonna call you when I get out of class. And then I texted my sister and I said, hey, because I could not tell my mom, because like my mom was like, I knew she would not be for it at all. Knew she would not be for it. Like that was, and I texted my sister like, hey, I said, please, can I tell you something? Please, you cannot tell mom though, like please. And she said, yeah, what is it? I said, I just found out I was pregnant. I said, but I don't want the baby. I don't want to keep it. I said, I can't afford it. I don't, like, I was ashamed, honestly, too, because, like, I feel like growing up in a Christian background, growing up in church, you know, you have a baby. I'm sorry, y'all, because I'm real ugly right now. But, you know, you grow up in church and everything, and you grow up in an environment where you're condemned and you're judged for doing certain things. I'm not going to get too deep in that, but I feel like certain sins are kind of condemned way more than a lot of other things should be. But anyway, that's besides the point, right? And so I'm like, I texted her and I said, I want abortion. And she called me like, no, you're not going to do that. She said, if you need help, I'm going to always help you. I'm going to be there. Like, no, I don't want you to do that. If you're really nervous about it, you know, I'll take the baby, like all this stuff. And like, it was kind of that sense of relief. Like, you know, me and my sister get into it a lot. It was kind of like that sense of relief knowing that I wasn't hated or I wasn't looked down upon or I wasn't judged, you know, by like a family member. And so, anyway, still in the back of my head, I'm still just like, I'm going to do what I want to do. So I tried to call. I had called, I think, Planned Parenthood. I could not get in touch with them to save my life. That was like my first sign from God, like, you ain't getting no abortion. No, this is your gift right here. You're going to take this. Couldn't get in touch with them. I was struggling. I think I did end up getting in touch with them at one point or another. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, they had said something like, you need an okay from your doctor if you have health issues. So going back to the fact I have ulcerative colitis. So I was like, you know, I don't know nothing about abortions. I was like, I don't want to get one. And then like it does something to me because I have UC and then I end up hurting myself. Like my biggest fear was like getting one and I'm dying or something like that. Because I always hear horror stories about that. And so anyway, like I said, I had just came back from California like maybe less than a year ago or a year ago. No, it was a year ago I had came back. Because it was 2016. I came back in 2015. And so during that time I had a GI doctor, which is gastroenterologist, who like took care of like my stomach and stuff. And I'm like, okay, I can't get an okay from Loyola because they're against abortion. Okay, can't do that. I said, so I'm going to call the doctor out there in California. It was in California. And so I called, the nurse picked up. I'm like, yeah, I need to get like a procedure done. I need an okay from a doctor to get that, and you're my last doctor, I was talking to a nurse. I said, now if I get the okay from her, then I can go ahead and get it done. Anyway, they later called me back like, yeah, we can't do that because she's no longer your doctor technically because you're in a different state now. And like, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. That was sign number 2. Like, God, it's just like, you ain't getting this done. So I'm just kind of stuck at this point. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I honestly could have got it if I really wanted to and just took that risk. But like I said, I was young. I got pregnant when I'm 26 now. I got pregnant when I was 23 because it was my turn 24. I got pregnant technically when I was 23 and I had just turned 24 because I found out October 31st. And technically speaking, I was like 8 weeks, I think. And so I got pregnant like late September, early October. I just didn't know. So yeah, I was 23 when I like conceived or whatever. And then 24 when I found out. And then when she was born, I was about to turn 25. Okay, yeah. So I'm just like, I'm stuck. So mind y'all, only people who knew obviously was his dad, my best friend, my old best friend, and my sister. My mom, I was not telling her, y'all. It was an option. I was gonna wait to the last minute. That was it, okay? And so that same day, come in, my child, y'all. Yes, Zaya. Come here. The story's actually about you. Come join me, love. She just woke up from a nap. Okay, and so anyway, so that night I had to work at Fridays. And like, you know, when stuff happens to you, whether it be a breakup or you depressed, something, you just don't want to go to work. Like, you're not in the mood. And like, I was literally quitting my job. Like, I was over life. So I had went into Fridays. I let them know. I said, yeah, I went to my manager. I said, yeah, I'm not feeling well today. I actually found out I was pregnant. And he was just like, okay. Because it was like so many girls pregnant. He was just kind of like, okay, whatever. I had like 5 managers. He was one of them. And I said, so I'm not doing good right now. I'm not feeling well. I went to the doctor, just not feeling well. So I'm not going to work tonight. And he just said, okay, whatever. So I remember being at her dad's house. And I was just there crying. I was just crying. And I was so sad and heartbroken. He had already told his family about it and everything. They were like okay about it or whatever. And like, y'all, that was it. Like, my world was crushed. I was heartbroken. Didn't know what I was doing. I was scared. Like, because I feel like when you my age, when you're young and you find out you're pregnant, especially if you haven't been with the person for a long time. Like, I hadn't been with him for a long time or anything. It wasn't like a solid, like, looking up type of relationship. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it also wasn't like, 3 years in, I can see you're gonna be my husband type of thing either. It was like new. So that made things a lot scarier. Like I said, my situation at the time was like working less than minimum wage, living at home, barely been able to get around, not having money, living with my mom. Like, it was crazy. And I ended up finally telling my mom, y'all. I waited. When I tell y'all I waited. Zaya. Okay. Go watch Bernie. Can you go watch Bernie?
No, it's just...
Okay, you're not. Anyway, I waited until around Thanksgiving. And I just kind of spit it out and she was pissed off at me. When she came into my room and I said, I had texted her. I remember like stalling because that day I had told myself, I said, I'm going to tell her. And my sister kept telling me, was like, did you tell mom? Did you tell mom? I was like, no. She said, the longer you put it off, the harder it's going to be. And it's just like, it was so much. I felt sick to my stomach. Like, I was just like, I don't know what I'm going to do. She's going to kill me. Like, even though I was grown, but still, like, it's not like I'm grown on my own, like, really doing my own thing. Like, no, I'm grown at home, living with my mama. I'm broke. I'm not married. Like, all this stuff. So, I was on my way home. I remember being at Wendy's, and I had took my niece to Wendy's, and I'm just thinking, like, Lord, the time is coming. And I text my mom, like, hey, I got something to tell you. Please don't be upset with me. And then she's like, okay. And I finally get there. I remember being in my room, and she walked in, and like, what did you have to tell me? I was like, I'm pregnant. I just said it like that. And she looked at me and walked away. I said, Lord, take me now. She gonna kill me. And I was just thinking to myself, like, whew, that's out the way. And then she walked away, and then she come back a few minutes later, like, I ain't taking care of no babies. I ain't, don't ask me about nothing. There's something you got. Like, my mom was pissed off, okay? She was mad. And I was just like, okay, well, I mean, and she was like not happy. Then fast forward, that was like hard. It was really hard pregnancy for me for a few reasons. One being like, my mom just been upset with me. That was like probably the hardest part. But then fast forward, y'all look at my delivery story. She was there every step of the way. Actually, my mom just texted me asking me about her, texting me saying, hey, she calls my daughter Duchess. So she just texted me saying, hey Duchess, how are you? Do you like your new school? I haven't heard from you. It always happens, okay? Like, your parents are not gonna always support, everything, especially when it comes to a kid and you're not married, but eventually they come around. So I'm about to close up this video because Miss Thing don't woke up, y'all. But that's my pregnancy story, how I found out, what happened, emotions. Yeah, that's it. And I'm gonna try to upload some more videos. I got like a lot of story times in my life. I got a really good juicy one, but I ain't trying to put nobody business out there because I can't. Even if I sugarcoat stuff, y'all still gonna know who I'm talking about. So I ain't even gonna go there. But anyway, Zaya, let them know. Say subscribe. Okay, tell them to like. Tell them to comment. And as always, it is me and peace out. Say peace out. Peace out. Peace out.